optimization. I mean, I'm always not most keen on wet atomizing. I like dry atomizing, high pressure. Oh, here it is. I got it. Regarding the high pressure atomizing method and the water atomizing method, they're using 50 to 100 megapascals. In gas atomizing, they're using 1.5 to 3. So in wet water, in wet atomizing, they're using 50 to 100, 50 to 150, and in gas atomizing, they're using 1.5 to 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And that actually came from the second one I gave you.
Okay. Now, do you know when they make this into a paste or anything? Is there, anything there that they do to help the particles mesh together, or?
Well, that comes within your viscosity, and there's also details about that as well. And that's because, again, you don't want to have everything. You want to have a good mixture, a good pasty subject, and a lot of that comes into the viscosity, your flowability, and there's detailed information in those about viscosity and how to get the right viscosity and what is the right viscosity for the paste. And all of these are for delivering for like your copper masks, for like if you want to do a screen, using the paste, things like that. Using them for anodes. That's strictly what a lot of these were for, which is probably where you're going when you're using for microcircuits and things like that. Using the paste for that, which is probably where you want to go with this stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess that sounds like a good place to start with the questions that I have.
Yeah. I mean, but one thing I'll say, you said this is your first time doing this. I mean, your questions were good. The more specific you can get in your questions, the better it is for me. Because a lot of times, like I'll get a list of like 10 questions. I'm like, you're not going to talk about 10 questions in an hour. And what they'll do is they'll always focus on one. So just tell me the one you want to focus on instead of giving me 10, because I like to do my homework before. And I do it on my own. I do it on my own nickel. I like to come into this prepared. There are some clients that don't like that at all. They want you to just talk it off the top of your head, which I think is kind of strange. I mean, wouldn't you want me to do a little bit of homework? If I'm willing to do that on my own, don't you want me to do that? And instead of you going through all these, like again, giving you that information about those patents, what does it take me, an hour or so to do that? It's better for you. I mean, I feel I'm providing you with a better service. But I can't be an expert on everything. I mean, I know a lot about a lot, but I'm not, but I'm an expert on specific topics. This is one that I know about. Am I a total 100% expert? No, but I did my homework. And that's what you want to see. I mean, if I totally do not understand it, it's going to take me hours to do the research. I don't bother. I decline it. But on stuff like this, I knew this is powder. I'm powder, into powder metallurgy. I understand what I'm reading. But there are some topics that they're off the wall, and they're not in my wheelhouse. But this is one that and so the more specific, that's what I say. The more, if you're going to continue to do this and I think it's a great service because it saves you a whole lot of time. As long as you get an expert on the other end that respects your time and what you're spending money on to do this, it's and I feel I try to do that. I try to give you the best service I can. And I mean, that's why I get as many calls as I get. The GOG usually sends about one or two. I get maybe 1 to 5 of these a week, which is really nice. Yeah, and it's nice. And they're all different. A lot of them. Why I asked you who you were and who you work for, because I do remember I know they don't tell me who the client is, but a lot of them are financial people. They're looking for investment information. Very rarely do I actually get an engineer on the other end of the phone. So I mean, I had a call yesterday, and I don't want to take a lot of your time because you're spending money on here. It was a bunch of young people sitting in a room, had no clue what they were talking about, and they're asking me questions, and and how they were responding to my answers. I knew they had talked to somebody that didn't really understand the topic either. and I understood the topic. It was